Hi there, everyone. This is Megan Clark reporting for Current Ag Concerns, and today I will be speaking with Tyler Trenkamp, a large animal veterinarian from the local Maquoketa and Jackson County area. So to start off, could you just tell us a brief overview of what you do as a vet?
I am completely a large animal, specifically bovine. I check sick cattle, do vaccination programs, and a lot of feedlot implant and health protocols in place.
And where do you work, and how long have you worked for this company?
I work for Reese's and Associates out of Eldridge, Iowa, with Satellite Clinic in Maquoketa, where I'm based out of. I've worked with them since I graduated in May of 2018.
And what made you select this career?
When I was a kid growing up, I loved it, and I actually changed when I graduated high school to try to go back to a family dairy and ran that for 3 years. And even doing that, I decided I wanted to be a vet with the health side after working on the dairy for 3 years.
And what type of education and training is required for your job?
You have to take so many science classes in undergrad. Most people get a 4-year degree, and then it takes 4 years of vet school, which the first 3 years are classroom, and the last year is clinicals to put all the stuff together, actually treating patients.
And are you required to be continuing your education and training right now as you're working, or is that something that you can do optionally?
Yes, we're required. We're required every 3 years to renew our license, which takes 60 credits or 60 hours of continuing education every 3 years. And so much of that, I think it's 40 hours, have to be actual face-to-face in classrooms.
If I was a high school student or someone starting in college early that wants to do something within this career, what would you give that advice to? What should I do to prepare?
One big thing that helped me was actually taking heavy course loads and harder course levels during undergrad, because when you get into vet school, it's a lot of time management, and I was prepared for that with taking 22 credits in undergrad on a two semesters just to prepare yourself, because vet school does get quite hard, and the classes after the first semester are rigorous, and they expect you to keep up with them all.
And what would you say the hardest thing that was for you to go through when you were trying to become a vet?
I think the hardest thing is time management and realizing you still have to have fun and go out with your friends, meet new people. It's a lot of people get hooked up on you need an A for everything. It's not. You need an A. You need to know what's going on, and you got to have a life, or you'll be burned out by the time you get to fourth year, and you won't like your career.
What do you like the most about your job?
I like the freedom. I get to choose what I'm doing. I get to help out a lot of patients, a lot of clients I work with directly to make vaccination protocols, help them make more money, and try to be most efficient with the health of the animal and the best we can.
And what do you like the least about your job?
We do get hours that I will run 20 hours a day with emergencies. With large animal, that does get tough on the body and toll on energy. But for the most part, I don't think I could do any other profession. I just love this job.
Especially right now, like and around calving season, is that when you're the most busy, or is there another time of the year that you have a lot more stuff going on?
Right now, we're the busiest coming out of it with the calving season, per se, for calving, but with after hours. But when we get actually into the fall with calf work and calves moving from weaning is actually when we're the busiest during the day, scheduled work with preg checking and weaning all at the same time.
Kind of switching gears here, could you tell us a bit about the technology that you use with your job?
A lot of it in bovine we use is knowledge with what we can hear with the stethoscope and the sight and the thermometer and how things are acting as a group. But we do use an ultrasound a fair amount for pregnancy, especially under 120 days pregnancy checks down to 30. We can increase the accuracy. We also use our ultrasound some to look at lungs and see the pneumonia, how much damage is done to the lungs, look a little bit at GI system, but we're limited with large animal on that as it doesn't penetrate with the size of the animal. It's hard to see a lot of that stuff.
And moving forward within the next coming years, is there anything making an appearance now that might make some of our practices with cattle easier that you can see?
There's not a lot new coming. There's new vaccines coming on board that we think are going to benefit us for prevention. But as far as top line technologies, I'd say we're holding steady there with what we have, but we're learning how to use what we have more efficiently.
Could you tell us a bit about the different travel opportunities that you have with your job?
With going back to senior education, we'll be at different times. They'll have meetings in Texas, Oklahoma, all over the United States. We travel for them. The main part's around Jackson, Clinton, Scott County. We're going to Illinois. I'm starting to do a little bit of work up in Dubuque County, so a lot of it's just local. But traveling gets to be more of our continuing education, where we go for that.
Could you explain to us what an everyday at work would look like for you? I know it's probably different around different times, whether it be cabin season or weaning or something like that, but your typical day on the job, what's your day look like?
On average, we'll have anywhere from 2 to 5 jobs scheduled, depending on the size of them. Some days we're doing semen checks on bulls, see the quality semen for breeding season. Other days, at calving, we can't really schedule that. That's all emergency.
Mm-hmm.
But then we do calf work, go out and look at calves that are sick and groups of calves. This morning I did 100 head that we went out and implanted for a feed yard and vaccinated them for diseases and that. And then we also, other times of years, we are just going out and castrating calves, preg checking. It changes yearly, but in general, it's usually 2 to 5 jobs scheduled. And then I also do footwork on the side, trim and feet, which we're starting to pick that up. So that's a lot of scheduled jobs that you figure 10 minutes ahead on them. It changes daily, like you said, but there's a wide variety. It's always changing.
Could you explain some of the benefits that go along with your job?
Benefits. I think it's just the change of it. Is you're not going to work and sitting in factory doing the same job daily. I think a lot of it is you're always approach with new problems. You got to think outside the box a lot, and you're really looking at your knowledge. You go back all the way back to college and see what did I learn about this system that could be causing this to affect it, and looking back on notes, reading up on things because everything's changing. You're never going to know it all. You're seeing new things weekly, if not daily. So you got to sit back and question what's going on and how do you want to approach it.
My last question for you is, what do you look forward to doing most within your career throughout the years to come?
I look forward to advancing in quality. I like the health of cattle, preventing it, and I really like doing vaccinations. My goal is to find these vaccination protocols and timely and get the feed and everything nutritionalized that we can decrease the use of antimicrobials to keep the resistance down. I'm really big into that.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much for letting me ask you these questions and getting to talk to you today. I know you're probably pretty busy right now.
Yeah, I got behind. Thank you for delaying. I was with a client.
That's
I knew
all right.
I was an answer. So.
All right. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you, Megan. You too. Bye.
Well, Tyler, thank you for interviewing with me today, and I enjoyed getting the chance to ask you these questions, and I'm sure other people will enjoy getting to hear some of your different answers. Once again, this has been Megan Clark reporting for Current Ag Concern.